Okay, live.
Hi guys, I'm here with Cyborgmatt, manager for Team Secret, very long running member from Secret, and yeah, a very special thing to me was at the last after party in Birmingham. You told me Hamburg is going to be a shit show. The format is so ass. Don't come to that event. What do you think now?
Well, thankfully, after a long discussion with the teams in the ESL, we were able to convince them to change the format. So I think this was the first event debuting the new format, and I think the teams are really happy with the new format. So I'm pretty sure this is going to stick for future ESL events because there's numerous events next year. And I think even as a spectator experience, I think it's a better format. Earlier this year, we would have like 2 best of 3s per day, and then a BO5 last day.
Yeah.
We get a much better storyline with the BO3 to the BO5. We get a lot more matches, bigger group stage, so I think all the teams are pretty happy.
Oh, nice. So it was kind of you, Knoxville, the biggest advocates, and someone else? Or?
It was a combination. It was like the teams. Knoxville also helped out a bit.
Cool.
It was basically just seeing if we can get a better format for future events.
Sure.
And this being the first one, I think it was a good showing for the new format. So I'm pretty sure it's here to stay.
Yeah, I think it's really good to have the dual elimination. I mean, you profited from it. It's just bullshit. Like single elimination is just bullshit. I mean,
that's the old one, not
you
mine.
can't talk around it. It's like single elimination.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Dota 2 is not a single limb game. The players, they like playing back-to-back matches, long duration matches. Like they like playing Dota.
Yeah.
Over these past decade, we've always seen these kind of formats, and at the end of the day, if it's good enough for TI, then it should be good enough for any event.
Yeah, I mean, ESL, they have been trying around different formats, but all of them were like some single limb bullshit. So I think everyone is happy now, like literally.
I mean, the teams are very happy. I think it's early to say, but I think the spectators were happy today. I think it's a good balance between those that come to the event, making sure they get the most out of the experience. I think that's important as well.
Yeah.
It's not just about the teams and the players at the end of the day, it's also about the fans.
Of course,
and I think for the viewer experience home, we get this wave, we get the European viewers in the early stage, and then towards the end of the day, you get the American viewers.
Right.
I think it's a win-win situation. Okay, the days are a little bit longer, but I think the benefits outweigh the negatives in this one.
Yeah, of course. I think they far outweigh it. So last season you got second in Hamburg as the first big event. This season, this is the first event, you win it. Perfect start. Mm-hmm. What's there in the future? Like you're going to the major?
Yeah, obviously we're going to boot camp now for the Kuala Lumpur major. This is Mid-One's home major, so we're going to make sure we're in top shape for that. It's a pretty long event. Another format similar to this, just more teams essentially. Yeah. So I think it's going to be a really good showing because we had some very strong teams here, and it's just a bunch of extra ones in Kuala Lumpur, so it should be good.
That's nice. So your newest addition, Nisha, he's really young. He has some experience, but not really in a tier 1 pro team. So what really happens when such a new player like Nisha, like Topson, these guys, they have never played in a tier 1 team? Like, what's the process in the team? How do they get molded into tier 1 players?
I think it's different for each team. For Team Secret, there's 3 layers, right? There's management, there's coaching, and then there's captain, right? Yeah. So in that sense, the captain is shaping the player and getting the most out of him he wants to, and and the management's helping Nisha with his future career projections, and then the coach is basically in between the management and the captain to ensure that everything's going fine. I think Nisha's been a great addition. He's an amazing player. He's only just turned 18, and I think his potential future career is pretty huge.
It's insane.
Yeah, we've already won 2 LAN events with him, so it's working out great. And it's a really good addition, and he fits well with the team.
That's good. You mentioned the coach, Sanbi. Mm-hmm. He's pretty long in the team already.
Yeah.
How do you guys pick him up? I mean, he was playing on the Korean teams.
Yeah. And
was there some other thing that made you think, that guy, I need him on my team?
Well, when we were looking for a coach, this was about 2 years ago now. It's when we had MP on the roster, and at that time we were looking at a number of different options, and MP was the one that recommended Sunday, and so we brought him on. And ever since then, he's been a really good fit. I think we're in a really good position now. We used to parallel Liquid in that sense because they had like Kuro captain, Bobby captain there, and then Heen coach, and then somebody coach. Unfortunately, Heen is no longer working with Liquid, but we don't have any intentions to let our Korean go. So he's a great addition to the team.
That's cool. I mean, it's running so well right now.
Yeah.
And it's really what I miss about the esports scene is that there are not many constants. Like the teams are switching up all the time. But you guys, like you have Poppy, you and Sunway, you've been there for like.
Yeah, Mid1 and Yapsar have been with us for a long time now.
Yeah.
After this TI, we only made a couple changes. I think the changes we made strengthened the roster. I think this already shown itself by the fact that we picked up 2 LAN wins already. Yeah. And there's a long way to TI. It's a long road to the next TI, but we're feeling pretty confident and we're happy so far.
It's very, very good. So Kuala Lumpur is next. We can't really do much of other questions. What do you think about the no invite thing as a true tier 1 team?
I think it's okay. I probably would have structured it a little different. I probably would have took the winner from TI and gave them the first invite, because at the end of the day, if you win TI, I think there's no motivation to then go play qualifiers 2 weeks later. Yeah. There's various arguments to that. I mean, it doesn't really matter either way, honestly. Even with an invite, they might not play it because they just won TI. Yeah. I did think that maybe for the following majors, you could look at taking like the major winner at least to the next major. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter that much, if you're not winning the qualifiers, then you probably don't have a good chance of winning the LAN itself. So
that's true, of course.
It encourages teams to stay on top. Maybe it's going to result in a lot of roster changes throughout the season, but we'll have to see. And it's like anything, like Valve's open to feedback, so if it's not working, then we'll change it for season 3.
Of course. So and you probably have like kind of not a direct, but a link to Valve, right?
Yeah, I mean, all teams Valve is very open and their feedback. If teams have feedback, then or teams or players or anyone, if they have feedback, they can pass it along. It's fine. Yeah.
What do you think about the major and minor thing? I talked with Nata 33, and he is a barely tier 1. I would say NIP is currently a fringe team. He said that the system is very bad because the people who are doing well in the minor get more money than the teams that are playing bad in the major, and I didn't really understand his point.
I mean, that's a smaller way to look at it. I think the bigger picture is, at the end of the day, there's more money at TI than any other tournament out there. So if you're doing well at these majors, you're going to make that back at, whatever you missed from the minors, you're going to make that back at TI anyway. Probably. These days top 8 is like 1 million plus, so
yeah, of course.
I feel like it's if you look at the bigger picture, it makes sense,
Okay, so I want to make it quick. One last question about Dota. Recently, I looked up on Reddit something about the rate in Dota. It was like you can adjust the rate of like packages sent or whatever, and it actually fixed like the Terrorblade horns monkeying out the lag. Like, why does did you know about that? And why doesn't Valve know it? Why does some random guy have to find that out?
No, I mean, Valve definitely knows that. At the end of the day, like, messing around with the rates only works for a select number of people. It's very dependent on the connection. And, I think it's much easier to wait for Valve to fix these things rather than messing around with stuff like that. I imagine that this is something they want to focus on. Obviously, there's a lot of effort being put into 7.20 right now. So once that patch rolls around, we're not too far away from a spring cleaning patch, I imagine. So I'm sure that there's plenty of things they want to address.
That'd be super cool. Cool. If you want to make a shout out to sponsors, fans, anything?
Shout out to all our fans in Germany. We enjoyed your support here in Hamburg and all the fans watching online. And big thanks to Ewan, Corsair, and Secret Lab, our sponsors. Thank you.
Perfect.
Thanks, man.
Nice talking to you.